Hey everybody, greetings from Xenia, Ohio. Um, it's been a while since the last time we did a video and an update for you guys, so we're just going to let you guys know kind of everything that's happened in the last 2 months and what we're doing right now. Emily's going to talk a little bit about our wedding. For those of you guys who didn't know, we got married.
Got married about 5 weeks ago in my hometown of Yakima, Washington. Um, we couldn't have had better weather. It was a beautiful day, and just had a lot of friends and family come for that. And it really was just really beautiful and special. I'll be putting pictures on Facebook pretty soon, so you can Facebook stalk us to get a sneak peek of that. But yeah, it just went perfectly, just from beginning to end. So it was a lot of fun, right?
Mm. So yeah, and then after that, we went on a short honeymoon, also in Washington, to a very nice bed and breakfast. And then after that, we went right back to her place and packed up all of her things in a U-Haul and her car, and then we drove 3 days across the country. Got to check off a couple of new states I hadn't been to yet. Stopped by and saw Mount Rushmore on the way when we stayed in Rapid City, and then stopped again in Davenport, Iowa, and then made it all the way to Xenia, where some AIA staff and friends from church helped us moved in and get settled a little bit, and yeah, starting to make our summer home a little bit more comfortable and getting prepared to move into a more permanent place the end of August or beginning of September. So we're pretty excited about that, kind of making it feel like home.
Mm-hmm.
So Emily's doing a good job of kind of organizing, decorating, and making it not feel like we're in a temporary place.
Mm-hmm. Although
So
it definitely feels like we're in a temporary spot sometimes. So looking forward to being a little bit more settled at the end of the summer.
yeah,
But we got back and jumped straight into X Project, which we are in the thick of right now. Have one more week of us staffing the project, and so Owen's going to tell you what X Project is.
yeah. So X Project is when we bring students. This year we have 26 interns. They come to both get training in ministry, how to be a spiritual influencer or a spiritual leader back on their campus and on their athletic teams. But they're also majoring in something at school, and so they're coming here to get an internship that applies to their majors. So we have media and graphic design interns that are helping out our media department. We have camp directors and sports management majors that are helping with our sports complex and those students that come in there, and a bunch of other interns in different departments. And so it's been really cool to watch them come here to be spiritually developed and to develop mentally in their majors.
Mm-hmm. On the spiritual development side, one of the first things we did the first week, is it the first week? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was what we call the God Space Retreat. Doug Pollock is a former staff member and evangelist expert. He wrote a book called God Space, and he lives about a half an hour from here. So we packed all 26 of those interns up and drove out to his house, where he basically has a little camp going on in his backyard. And we spent 2 days with him, just learning how to share the gospel better, and not just, assuming things of people, going up and being like, hey, do you know Jesus? But learning to ask good questions and find out what their story is and where they are in their relationship with God. One of his big things is wondering questions and just asking, just digging deeper as people are sharing things about themselves with you. So that was really cool, and just even a good way to start off as we go out and do some different uh, service projects, outreaches with this group. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We had opportunity to practice last weekend. We went to a little town called Yellow Springs, which it almost feels a little bit like a time capsule in a way. It's kind of almost stuck in the 70s, a very um, non
The hippies
non-Christian.
still live there.
Yes. Yeah, non-Christian culture, very secularly tolerant place, and they have a street fair that is very well known in this part of Ohio. Several thousand people were there um, through that Saturday, and so we brought the students and had them engage with different people, different vendors, and different people that were walking around during the street fair. And their goal was to ask questions and to discover and really focus in on that successful evangelism is not necessarily you sharing the gospel and them praying to receive Christ, but there are some people that plant the seeds, and there's some that water the seeds, and there's some that get to see them grow and harvest them. And so the goal was to get people to move one step closer to having that relationship with God. So it was pretty cool to see all the students go out and having conversations and getting to hear the conversations that they had. And some of the students are coming back with, yeah, this person gave me their number and they want to talk more. And they're kind of like, I've never had this happen before. And so it's awesome to watch them continue to invest in those people that they just met randomly at a street fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our next outreach is actually this afternoon. We will be kind of the key volunteers in the Columbus Gay Pride 5K. So that happens tonight, and so basically we're there to just serve these people, not necessarily support what they are doing or what they're all about, but just to have those conversations, just to be an opportunity to love on that community.
Yeah, and so it'll be a big piece. We saw some fruit actually serving in that race the last couple of years. There was a softball player at Wright State University, which is about 20 minutes away from here, as part of our local campus ministry that we reach out to. And there was a softball player who was running and kind of saw the AIA people and was kind of like, hey, I know these people, and kind of ended up connecting with one of our students, and one of our students began to really invest time and relationship into her. And by the time she returned to school the next year, was very interested in talking to one of our staff members, and she sat down with her and was like, Amy, I need to know how to have a relationship with God. Like, I want to know how to start that. And so that was awesome to know that we can have that kind of influence by going to an event like this and just serving people in the background and loving them.
Another cool thing that Owen gets to do this summer with X Project is have his very own intern.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited that we have an intern named Jonathan. He's helping me with the campus operations in the office. He's a business management major from Cedarville, which is the local Christian college, and he's interested in working in nonprofit organizations doing business. And so this is an awesome opportunity for him. It's a fun opportunity for me to work with somebody else and have a teammate in the office doing the same thing. And so he's getting to teach me some of the things that he's learning, both in his major at school, and help that apply that to what we're doing in the office. So it's been really fun the last couple of weeks with him. Jonathan's also a part of my discipleship group. We have two other interns, one who's working on the sports complex, and another one who's working with some of the camps that we have come in. And what we're doing with them is really getting them to see the gospel in their own lives, so they can take that and bring it to other people, maybe filled up first before they go out. And so we were going through their testimonies last week, and they were each sharing each of their testimonies, and we were really working with them because they have great stories of how God met them and interacted with them and brought them to a clearer understanding of Him. And so we were helping them as they're telling those stories about how God moved in their lives, how to be able to share the gospel in the midst of that. That, hey, this is what God's done in my life. This is how He made me realize that He loved me and wanted to have a relationship with me. This is how He made me realize that my sin was separating me from Him, and that I needed that relationship with Christ in order to restore that relationship. And it was a cause for me to have that initiation with Him, that I said, Lord, come into my life. And that's how I experienced change in my life. And it was really cool to watch them to get that, and like, oh, I want to be able to do that with my story. And so we had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah,
Just
we just
teaching
have
them.
a lot of different groups going on. We have our discipleship groups, our Bible study groups. Even we did men's and have done men's and women's time, which women's time was just really good. Just bonding time for the girls to go deeper with each other than you might, do just with superficial relationships. But yeah, just looking forward, just be in prayer for us as we have 1 week left. Next week, wrapping up this project and handing it over to the students. Also, we're getting ready to go to Colorado for our Crew 15 conference that we go to every other year, and also part of that is our Athletes in Action Ministry Days conference, and I am on that conference team, so I'm kind of in crunch, like panic mode, trying to get things done for that. I've been making videos, which I'm not a video maker. So yeah, just be praying that we get everything, that I can finish getting everything put together for that I need to, and that we pull off that conference. Yeah, is there anything else?
Yeah, and then just pray for the students as we transition leadership, especially spiritual leadership, of this project for the next 4 weeks of July, that students are going to be responsible for teaching and growing each other in the Word, so that they would grow themselves in that leadership responsibility, and they would be able to influence each other in that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for keeping up with us. We'll see you guys next time.